Hey YouTube, Andrew Sellers here. Welcome once again to Dragon's Dojo Gaming. Please like and subscribe for more content as I continue to bring more videos like I am now. And I'm about to show you a casual, possibly a bad hero deck. Like, I wouldn't say it's the worst deck on the planet, but I definitely don't consider it to be too consistent. But this is a fun hero deck that I've built that I'm temporarily going to be playing until my contractor job starts to get busy next month, and so that once I start getting in lots of money every week, I can use all that good money to make this budget, possibly bad hero deck into a good hero deck. So, I'm about to start off with the main deck. Sorry about that. So, this is just a proxy, but I'm running one elemental hero Neos. I have an ultra rare version of the alternate art from Dual Power coming in the mail soon. I just ordered it from TCG Player, and it was only like $1. And I chose to get that version of Neo specifically because I like the art on that one, and I like it better than its original artwork. Not that I don't like the original artwork, I just prefer the alternate one. I mainly run them in the decks so that I can use them as fusion material for Shining Neos Wingman. Next up, two of the classic normal heroes, Avian and Burstinatrix. I run them strictly in case I were to go into Flame Wingman and want to attack with it. Next up, I run a playset of Stratos, arguably one of the best hero monsters in the whole archetype. I don't feel like I know who the best hero monster is anymore, but I definitely think that Stratos was one of the best back in its older days, during late GX and early 5Ds. As many of you know, he adds a hero monster when he's normal, any hero from the deck to the hand when he's normal or special summoned. And his other effect is when he is normal summoned while summoned. His effect is that if he's normal summoned, you can destroy spells and traps on your opponent's field equal to the number of other hero monsters on your field. That skill will rarely ever come up, but its additional effect can come in handy. Next up, 3 copies of Shadow Mist. You can only use one of her effects. You can only use one effect of hers once per turn. The first one is that when she's special summoned, you can add a change quick play spell from your deck to your hand. And the only one you play in this deck is honestly Mass Change, because it's the only one that's necessary. And her other effect is that when she's sent to the graveyard, just like Stratos does when he's summoned, Shadow Mist lets you add any hero monster from your deck to your hand. In my opinion, she's actually a little better than Stratos is. Because if you were to summon her on one turn and wait to send her to the grave to summon Darklaw or whatnot on your next turn, you can add the hero after you add Mass Change. Next up, 2 Solid Soldier. I may consider taking one of this out just because I only feel like one's necessary. But it's a pretty good card in this deck. When he's normal or special summoned, you can special summon a level 4 or lower hero monster from your hand. And his other ability is that when he's sent to the graveyard by the effect from the field to the grave by the effect of a spell, you can target any other hero monster in your graveyard and special summon it. So yeah, it's a solid mass hero target. It's a solid mass change target, and it can just get stuff done. Temporarily, until I get better cards, I'm running a copy of Elemental Hero Bubbleman. He used to be amazing, but now he's like, there's better hero monsters in this format. But as many of you know, if he's the only card in your hand, if you can special summon it, and if you have no other cards on your field or in your hand, you draw 2 cards. But eventually I will be taking this guy out. Potentially for another copy of this dude, Elemental Hero Solid Soldier. When Solid Soldier's normal summon, you can target a level 4 or lower hero monster from your graveyard except for another liquid soldier and special summon it. And if this guy's used as fusion material, sorry I stuttered on saying synchro. If it's used as fusion material for a hero fusion monster, you can draw 2 cards and then discard a card from your hand, which in my opinion is a lot better than Bubbleman's. Next up, 1 copy of Vion. He's a foolish burial for heroes, and he adds polymerization from your deck to your hand. I'm definitely going to keep Vion in here because it's kind of a useful one for this deck, honestly. Next up, 1 copy of Spirit of Neos. When your opponent declares an attack, you can special summon Spirit of Neos from your hand, and for the rest of the turn it's summoned, it isn't destroyed in battle. In my opinion, really good saver card. In my opinion, solid hand trap. Prevents you from taking any damage, and you get to keep him for the rest of the turn you summon it if it were to be attacked. Next up, 1 copy of Honest Neos. If a hero monster battles an opponent's monster on your board, you can discard this card from your hand, and the hero monster battling gets 2,500 attack for the rest of the turn. Next up, 2 copies of Malicious. I want this card at 3, damn it! And I know Chase from Twisted Nightmare Gaming does too. As you all know, if you can banish a copy of it from your graveyard. If he's in your graveyard, you can banish it to summon another Malicious from your deck. He's a target for Dark Law, and he's another hero monster. Overall, really good card. Now for the spells. 2 copies of Polymerization. Eventually, I may consider adding Blazeman to this deck because he lets you add Polymerization from your deck to your hand when summoned. And I run 2 of it because, well, I just like it at 2 in my build. And I actually want to keep it at 2. Next up, 3 copies of Mass Change. You can use it on any hero monster. You send that monster to the grave, and you special summon a hero fusion with the same attribute from your extra deck. And it's searchable with Shadow Mist, so it's honestly one of the best cards in this deck. So, I'm running 2 Super Polymerization. If you ever see me play this deck, I'll be running it at 3. I have 3 other copies of it in my Shadal deck, but I'm honestly just too lazy to pull the 3rd one out. I also run 3 copies of Miracle Fusion technically, but I will be taking out 1 of the Miracle Fusions for another copy of Super Poly. Just because Super Poly is such a damn busted card. And Miracle Fusion, for those that don't know, banishes fuses monsters from your field or graveyard to special summon a hero monster with the right fusion materials from your deck. Next up, I run 2 copies of a Hero Lives. You pay half your life points to summon a level 4 or lower hero from your deck. And you only activate it if you have no monsters currently on your field. Next up, Instant Fusion. You pay 1,000 to summon a level 6 or lower fusion from your extra deck. But the whole reason it's in here is so that I can summon Flame Wingman. And that if I have him and either Neos in my hand or on my board, or Neos or Spirit of Neos on my field, I can use Polymerization or Miracle Fusion to get out Neos Wingman. Next up, 3 Emergency Call. Free Elemental Hero Searcher card. 1 Reinforcement of the Army. Self-explanatory why this card's in the deck. 1 copy of Favorite Hero. You equip it to a level 5 or higher hero monster on your field. So that hero monster, let's see, what does it do? So it gains attack equal to its original defense, and the opponent can't target it with card effects. At the beginning of the battle phase, I can add a field spell directly from my hand or deck. Do I have any field spells though? Nope. I don't really need field spells in this deck, to be honest. 1 Mass Change lets you add a hero and a change spell from your grave to your hand. Solid, normal spell in my opinion. 1 Monster Reborn gives you a free monster from either player's graveyard. 1 Twin Twisters eliminates back row by discarding a card from your hand. And now, another tech choice I'm temporarily running until I upgrade the deck. The 1 trap I have in this deck, Punch in the Box. When your opponent declares an attack while they control 2 or more monsters, you tribute the attacking monster, then target another monster on their field, and it loses attack equal to the attack of the attacking monster that was just sent to the graveyard. It's a funny little card, and it's actually good. I feel that this card's overlooked, but depending on the situation you're in, it can really help. And it's one of my good friend Jakari's favorite. It's one of my good friend Jakari's favorite cards in the game. And it's actually one of his favorite cards of all time. For those of you that don't know, which many of you do, Jakari Michael Scott is the owner of Twisted Nightmare Gaming. He runs the channel, and I highly recommend liking and subscribing to his channel to check out his videos as well. And I also support him. First up, 1 Flame Wingman. When he destroys an opponent's monster in battle, he deals damage equal to the attack of the monster it destroyed, but it's mainly there as fusion material for Neos Wingman. I also run him because he's one of my favorite hero monsters ever. When I was a kid, he used to be one of my favorite cards in the whole game, and Shining Flare Wingman too. Before Xyz Monsters came out, Shining Flare Wingman actually used to be my favorite of all the used to be my 3rd favorite hero monster. My 2nd favorite was Dark Neos, and my favorite one among them all was Chaos Neos. When I was a kid, heroes used to be one of my absolute favorite Yu-Gi-Oh decks. I mean, I still really like them, but they're just not a favorite anymore. I just think that they're really fun. 2 Dark Law. Remember how busted this card when this card came out in 2015? So his effect says if your opponent adds a card from their deck to their hand outside their draw phase, which also goes for drawing. Like if your opponent were to either draw or add a card from their deck to their hand, your opponent shuffles their hand, and then you target a card in their hand and banish it. And any card sent to the opponent's graveyard is banished instead. Retarded card. Like, really retarded card. 1 Koga. A personal tech choice I run in this deck. With Koga's effect, it gains 500 attack for every monster on your opponent's field. And its other ability is you banish and it has a quick effect that says during either player's turn, you banish a hero monster from your graveyard, then target an opponent's face-up monster, and it loses attack equal to the attack of the hero monster you chose to banish. This guy's kind of stupid if you think about it. Next up, 1 Nova Master. When he destroys an opponent's monster in battle, you draw a card. That's it. I'm running him at 1 for now, but eventually I'm going to take him out for better cards. 1 Divine Wind. A better version of Nova Master in my opinion. It's a lot easier to summon, and if it destroys just like Nova Master, it draws a card if it destroys an opponent's monster in battle, except that it has 100 higher attack points and can't be destroyed in battle. In my opinion, Divine Wind is somewhat of a broken card. It can definitely cause stalemates here if your opponent doesn't have any card effects to destroy it. 1 copy of Dian. When it destroys an opponent's monster in battle, you get to special summon a level 4 or lower hero monster from your deck. Really handy for summoning out Shadow Mist and Stratos, and getting your monsters out faster. 1 copy of Adoration. You can use 2 of any hero monster to summon it. And his ability is once per turn, you target another monster on your field, well, another hero monster specifically, and then you target an opponent's monster, and that monster loses attack equal to the attack of the hero monster on your board that you chose. 1 Great Tornado. Another card I'm going to be taking out. But when he's summoned, the attack and defense of all other monsters on the board get halved. Solid card in my opinion. 1 copy of The Shining. This card I'm keeping because its graveyard effect is really, really handy. He gains 300 attack for every one of your banished hero monsters. And if it gets sent to the graveyard, you can add 2 of your banished hero monsters to your hand. Another card I'm temporarily running that I'm going to take out. 1 Contrast Hero Chaos. This isn't a bad card, but like it's really good, but it's just hard to summon. I used to run it in a hero build way back in 2015. Back when this deck was more masked hero reliant, but now I just run them at 1. But eventually I'm going to be taking them out, just because it's not too easy to summon anymore. Finally, for fusions, 1 copy of Elemental Hero Shining Neos Wingman. He cannot be destroyed by card effects. Gains 300 attack for every monster in your graveyard, and if he destroys an opponent's monster in battle, the opponent takes damage equal to the attack of the original attack of the monster it destroyed. All the wingman monsters, funny enough, have the same effect. Have one of the same effects. Flame Wingman, Shining Flare Wingman, and Shining Neos Wingman. If any one of those three destroy an opponent's monster in battle, they take damage equal to the original attack of that destroyed monster. And this guy's definitely the best between the three, in my opinion. It's infinitely better than Shining Flare Wingman is. One copy of Dark Rebellion Exceeds Dragon, another card I'm temporarily running. I just run him in here for now because I like dragons and he's a decent rank 4 Exceeds. Finally, one copy of the Link Monster Extra Hero Crosscut Crusader. When Crusader's summoned, you target a Destiny Hero monster in your grave and summon it, which is malicious. And then, you can also tribute a hero monster on your field to add any hero monster from your deck to your hand. So this guy's really good for adding hero monsters. And that is it for my casual, budget-friendly hero deck. Thanks for watching, everyone. I hope you all liked it. Like I said, this is just a fun deck, nothing too serious. I mean, it could win games, but I doubt it can win nearly as much or consistently as an expensive version of Heroes can. And like I said, I'm going to be building the more consistent version of Heroes once my contract fence job starts to get busy. Anyways, I hope you have a good night, everyone. See you later.